Okay. I'm James Kurtley. I am the executive officer of the mini side of the demo team.
All right, fantastic.
Robert Volbrecht. I am the executive officer on the Shadowrun side, RPG side. So,
All right.
Aaron Dykstra. I am the Shadowrun missions developer for the Living campaign.
All right.
And everyone should remember me. I'm Michael Ciaravella. I'm the events manager and Catalyst demo team coordinator.
And probably the best voice that I've ever heard.
That means a lot coming from you.
I appreciate that. No, I have a sore throat, which is the only reason why my voice sounds like this right now. I promise I'm all good. I tested. I swear.
They all saw me at Adepticon. They heard me at Adepticon what little we could squeak out, so understandable.
All right. Well, I mean, so before getting too far into everyone's, general projects, I do want to hear a little bit about yourself from the time before you get to work and also, whenever Lauren finally says that you can go home, what do you do just for fun?
He lets you go.
Wait, Lauren lets me go home?
Quite sure about that.
So this is what I do for fun. We all have outside jobs, but for the demo team, I mostly run BattleTech games, and I also have put together the schedule, so that's been taking most of my time. As we're running, I don't know, at any given time, we're going to have about 40 or 50 tables, I think, filled with happy players. I have been with the demo team for however long it's been around, so 15, 16 years now. Oh, maybe it's pushing 20. I started doing something called the boot camp, which is our learn to play. So that is my, to some extent, that's still sort of my thing. I do a lot of learn to plays, teach people how to play BattleTech in an hour. So yeah, that's fun.
Did you, I want to say that I remember your name specifically from Rem. Were you the one who taught Rem during her first attempt?
Probably, maybe. Well, did it go well?
She said that she really enjoyed it.
Then it was definitely me.
Okay, got it. Absolutely.
If it was a complete success, my name was Michael Ciaravella. If it was a complete disaster, my name is James Kurtley.
There you go. Wait, no. Back up. Reverse that. Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Well, and so you've been doing the boot camp for all those 20 years, or did you pick
So
it up?
I actually do a lot of other events now. I started with the boot camp. I'm now running something called BattleTech Missions, which is much like Shadowrun missions. It's a sort of a living campaign-like thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not official like Shadowrun missions. We only really do it at the cons right now. But that is my thing right now, is writing BattleTech missions, which takes a lot of time too. So
Is there plans on getting it up to the same point?
that's a question for him.
All right. When we get down to it.
When we get down, we definitely want to talk about organized play. That's a huge portion of what we do right now. And as you can see, the conventions make a huge portion of our organized play plan, both what we've been doing previously under different titles of it and what we want to do in the future.
Absolutely fair. I'm sorry. I just love your voice. Anyway. Your leisure time.
leisure time is pretty much spent writing Shadowrun.
Absolutely
Yes.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a Shadowrun GM for 35 years now, so from day one, it's been my pride and joy. And I started GMing Shadowrun at conventions 20 years ago. I've been a demo team member since its neonatal stages, and I actually started freelancing for writing Catalyst for Catalyst 8 years ago. So, in addition to doing all this scheduling and chicken wrangling like James does for I also write. So,
Absolutely fair. I do have to say, I'm pretty sure someone should be getting paid full time just for coordinating everyone at this point.
it's a year-round job.
It's a cat herding job.
Yeah.
Just from watching the general setup, yes, it happened very quickly, a lot quicker than anybody was even thinking that could happen. But still, at the time going down there, it is everyone like trying to find who knows what they're doing just so that they can help out.
Yep.
I feel like there's a lot of that.
Well, the sheer scope of what we're looking at this year dwarfs previous years.
Mhm.
We've got 70, 80 agents on the ground right there officially for demos. We've got another 20 in different areas. Our painting competitions are up and active this year. We've got 3 major booths. We've got the pods, the Battletech pods coming in. We've got our Shadowrun room. We've got Leviathans. And we've got a lot of other secret little surprises that are popping up for the 40th and 35th anniversary year. So we have got a ton of people. Things have been going up faster than ever before, but many hands make light work. But it is certainly a challenge. It's been a lot of fun.
No, absolutely. Yeah, no, because I personally have only been to one other Gen Con, and that was last year. And just the difference between last year to this year, it is already so much more massive.
I've gone to probably 18 Gen Cons right now, which is minor compared to a lot.
Oh,
of
you
here.
spring chicken.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. But also, this was the year that really threw me. We were walking around. I've been here for 3 days already. But we went up to the doors, and every door to Gen Con's got the big sold out sticker on it.
Mhm.
Now, I'm used to Gen Con selling out Saturday, Sunday. It definitely happens all the time. But I have never, 2 days before the convention, seen big stickers on every door going, "We're sold out, guys." Turn back now.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
No, absolutely. I'm glad that they're capping it to make sure that everyone, stays safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Your leisure time?
Uh,
As if you can call it that.
yeah, it's just like Bob said, a lot of Shadowrun writing and cat herding. So for Shadowrun missions, generally on a good year, we've got 14 or 15 writers that all have to hit deadlines and get edited and get ready for conventions. And then I do my own writing. So I've been a demo agent for about 10 years, and then have been running missions for I think 4 years now. But yeah, we want to make sure we have plenty of fun content for the convention, and that means getting all that stuff ready, and then writing books in my spare time.
How long do you think you've been prepping for this year's Gen Con?
From last year's Gen Con.
Yeah, 14 months.
Yeah, so
We start prepping next year before we finish this year.
yeah, I put out the call for writers at Origins, and I collect all the submissions by Gen Con, and then we kick off the meeting usually 2 weeks after Gen Con to get the writers rolling, so that way I can get content and play tests and all that other stuff. So we've got a very robust schedule of when people need to hit different dates so that we can make it in time.
No, absolutely. You guys are making me realize how lucky I am that we have somebody else on the REM team taking care of all the scheduling right now. I would not have a shot.
There's a lot of groaning occasionally, like why can't people hit dates? But that's kind of normal. It's par for the course.
Yep.
And then there's that time that happens when every time you get a new email, you're like, oh no, I'm gonna have to rearrange again.
Yeah, which I have to go do as soon as I finish with this because I had 2 people cancel on me.
Oh.
So
Well, we're seeing a lot of still travel delays. We're seeing
Yep.
people who are sick. We were having that conversation with an agent today. If you're sick, stay
Stay
home.
home. Don't.
We will
He's
be
like,
happy to
no,
take care of you.
I'm fine. I'll be there.
Do not be patient. zero.
Somebody give me a lozenge, please.
Yes, yeah.
I can get there. I know I
I
can.
yeah.
can do it. I can do it, coach. Put me in. No.
yeah. So the organization is always in flux until Sunday.
Right.
Oh,
Then everybody gets home.
All right. And your leisure time, if you can call it that.
Leisure time. Well, as we all know, right there, this all is part and parcel of what I do. So this is both my leisure and my love, as with everyone else right here. I love to read. I love to write, as we know, when I get some free time. But the beautiful thing, we were joking about this the other day, is we're blessed to work with such wonderful people and do what we love with people that we like. We can sit We can have food. We can have some of the best meals that I have. You got your family dinners, which are very nice. Then you get to be with your friends and your gaming family, your chosen family, which is so wonderful. This is a wonderful location for us to all meet and spend time and enjoy together. So this is my leisure time, but this is also a great vacation.
No, absolutely. This is for anyone who has seen me on GenCon TV stream. This is the first year that I'm going to be able to meet everyone that is in my current streaming Shadowrun group, which I was one of the people who were brought on because I didn't know anything about it a year and a half ago. I still am, learning new things every day, but I did start off as a decker for some reason. I could not tell you who made the decision to make a newcomer a decker, but
No, they don't have complicated rules or anything. It's fine.
no.
This edition has the best decking rules of any edition ever.
I'm biased,
You will make me.
I'm a little biased about that.
but I agree.
Well, and so as far as conventions go, I know that we've given a lot of high praise to Gen Con, but this can go out further than that. Whether it was all of you together or separately, what was some of your most eventful times at a convention? If you had to give it one.
Most eventful
Most
times?
eventful. Then you can give me a maybe a negative and a positive if you're.
I mean, the stories that always stick with you are the ones, the fire alarm goes off, the air conditioning never runs, that kind of, like, those are the stories that always stick with you. So we run an event every year called Masters and Minions, which is a lot of fun. Basically, you get to play with some of the people, this Battletech side, you get to play Battletech with the people who made it and the people who are still making it to this day. So, for me, I've been a fan of the game for 39 of its 40 years of existence, give or take. And I'm only basing that on which box set that I have, sitting on the corner of my shelf. But I got to play Battletech with Jordan Weissman, the inventor of the game. And that was really awesome. And in fact, that's a thing that everybody can do. I don't know. Is Jordan one of the masters this year? Do you know?
I don't know if he's one
He
of
is
the masters
here,
this year.
so-
He is here as one of our guests, which is a wonderful thing. I added to a little bit of my own imposter syndrome right there. Jordan came up to me and said hello. And you know who I am. That's a great thing. No, but he's a wonderful guy. But I completely agree with you. That's a great sensation. Masters and Minions is a great time to meet the creators, to meet some of the people from your history, the authors, the designers, the artists. And Shadowrun's got an event too that's just like that.
Yeah, we have the Legends of the Shadows. This is only our third year. We haven't been doing it near as long as Battletech did, but we started doing it. And I had the same type of moment. Last year, Tom Dowd came and played with us. And yeah, I fanboyed.
No, that's absolutely fair. See, I fully identify I'm a little bit in the younger generation, of course. But for me, this year that is Damien Haas coming in for that second one. I am doing everything in my power to show up for this one tonight. After talking to RJ, but
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, big event. It's always the players, right? You always get some unique set of players. One of the classic groups that we've seen in a lot of the Shadowrun games that we've run, Trolling Thunder. In fact, I'm wearing a Trolling Thunder shirt. It's a group that has played together for year after year. And every couple of years they reinvent themselves. So they were Trolling Thunder, they were the Pirates of Pizzazz. This most recent year they were the Cult of Phil. And they will challenge you as a GM because they will go off the rails immediately. Like they see the rails and they're just like, nope, we're not going to go there. They may give you a little lip service of we know that we're taking you off the rails, but it's always going to be catastrophic fun. And a couple years ago they were doing the last of our Neo Tokyo adventures, and they came in with an airship and immediately saved everybody that was supposed to die. And I'm just sitting there going like, I do not know how to get this back on the rails. There is no way to get this on the. Oh no, wait. I have missile launchers. We'll take care of this. So yeah, it was great fun. It's those things you sort of remember forever and enjoy.
No, I do love those sessions that just turn into pure improv, where it's like, oh, okay, I just kind of have to go with this at this point.
Yeah.
These like not murder hobos, but
Yeah, just chaos.
exactly fighting your story with everything that they have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, you're most eventful.
Oh, most eventful. After all these years right now, there are so many. It's hard to pick one. Right now, I've noticed most recently that my memories start to stick in all the people in regards to the demo team and things. The wonderful agents who are telling me their stories, the agents who became freelancers or created and designed games and stepped up, created missions. Or, as my wife, who runs the painting department, says, the first time a young child comes up with their painted panther mech, or has just or grabs the box set off the shelf, going, "This is what I want." Those are the memories that really keep with me right there. The games, the laughter, all of that. There are so many of them, but I can still remember the when we put out the plush urban mechs.
And little 3-year-olds running, clutching their urban mechs.
3-year-old
Yeah.
whose eyes light up and go, "That is my thing." They don't know what an urban mech is. They may not know for years now, but we also, one of the big things we talk about is BattleTech and Shadowrun. They've truly become generational institutions. Every convention, especially recently, we're getting
Yeah.
grandparents coming up to us, parents who said, "I played this game with my family.
Yeah.
I want to teach my kids what version is right for this." And you see, the families are sitting down to play it. Nothing better than going to Origins and teaching someone how to play Alpha Strike, and then have them come back to GenCon and go, "This has become a family event. We do this every week. What's the next step?" That is amazing.
It's, as a person who does learn to plays, one of the greatest feelings is when somebody shows up and they're like, "I've never heard of BattleTech, but I have this ticket. I want to see it." And you sit them down and you teach them how to play. And then you see them later that day with the bright green Catalyst bag that you know is filled with and you know, I have made another fan for life. That is a warm fuzzy that does not go away.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely agree. Because my favorite's doing the first taste and the introductory stuff. Sitting down with players, have no idea what they're getting into, and teaching them. I do it every year, and it's those are my memories. The best memories are those players who walk away fans.
Or when you see them the next year at one of the tables playing the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they come back.
they're already a pro.
Yeah, and like Mike was saying, the families. I've had many parents come in saying, "I tried to teach this to them in my home, but I'm just not doing any justice." So they sit down and say, and we teach the rest of the family how to play and stuff. I've had those experiences, and it's pretty awesome.
Well, I mean, we have plenty of room for those experiences this year.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything in particular this year that you are specifically looking forward to? It can be an event. It can be something that you just know that you're gonna go do this year. I'm gonna take an entire afternoon, and I am just going to exclusively do this one thing, or anything.
So I brought my kid this year. My kid is 16. I have been a gamer parent for my child's entire life, but this year I finally brought them to Gen Con. I have no idea how it's going to go, but I am oddly excited about the whole thing. I was like, okay, and here's where you get pizza, and here's where the trade floor is. That's where you're going to spend a lot of time, and here's where we're going to be. And my kid is going to be helping with the painting this year. So my kid's somewhat artistic. So, I think mostly schlepping water back and forth. But I think that's the thing.
I'm assuming it's not a teenager who's still in there like, oh, too cool for dad stage, right?
No, not at all. Somehow I completely screwed up parenthood. And my teenager actually seems to, will groan at the dad jokes, but on the whole, my teenager actually seems to like me. So I must have messed that one up.
Yeah, no, they are supposed to hate you until
They
they're
are.
18,
They are.
20.
No, no.
Yeah, I went 50-50 on that. My daughter hated me until she got in her 20s.
Okay.
Now we're good, but my son's always liked me, and he's actually an agent. He's not here this year,
Yeah.
but he's been here the last couple of years.
Fair enough. Well, is there anything that you're looking forward to?
Me just enjoying some good meals when talking shop on a few projects that
Anything
That-
that you can talk about?
nothing I can openly talk about right now, but it's all stuff that we remotely discuss throughout the months. But Gen Con's when we can sit down and do it face to face. So
Absolutely fair. Yeah, no, it does make all of these projects more real to be able to
yeah, absolutely.
genuinely sit down and talk instead of just through cameras.
Yep.
Most people who have met me online assume that I always have my camera way up top, so they just assume that I am like a 5'8" guy or something. I don't know how they came to that conclusion, but I've been getting that a lot. So, distorted perspective.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to this year?
I mean, I agree with Bob. It's one of the few times that we get freelancers together to sit face to face, and I mean, technology is great, right? We can talk every day, but the time lag gets you, and being able to sit down face to face and actually like hash things out that are challenging, is really nice. But the big thing I think that I'm looking forward to is this is our first year in New Orleans for the missions play. And I just want to see how the players react to, a different city than Seattle, something that's a little bit more steeped in magic. And I think they're going to get a real big kick out of what we've got put together. So,
Is that where we're going into? No, okay. I'm pretty sure that it's all public.
Yep.
Like more voodoo type magic.
it is. Yeah. So the Voodoo book came out the week that Origins kicked off.
Right.
Which we haven't made legal yet. It's on my to-do list, my really long to-do list. But so yeah, it's we've got voodoo. We've also got a couple different themes that I'm totally okay talking about. Since I run it, I guess I can spill whatever beans I want. We've got a couple dragons involved that will start showing up later on, but in the early days, you're going to be dealing with a lot of gangers that are associated with voodoo. Some of the mafia groups in town. There's a couple legitimate businesses that do fashion that are warring with other fashion companies, maybe with a little bit of a Zoolander bend to it. So yeah, some good times, a little bit of quirkiness, which we kind of expected the setting, but definitely steeped in magic. That's what we're aiming for.
No, absolutely. Yeah, Tom or Teslin, who currently runs my game, is going with all of New Orleans, like starting off there, and kind of playing around a little bit with the voodoo. I know that Body Shop was another big inspiration for him.
Yeah.
Because we had a recent episode that was called Jailhouse Cyber Surgery for Dummies.
Awesome.
Which we've been having a great time using all of that, pulling from it, and he's been doing these little clips, kind of,
Yeah, you should be careful. Like the Body Shop was great, but there's some cybermancy in the back, and that gets pretty scary for runners to go up against.
that may end up being a spoiler for me later down the line.
Just don't read it. You'll be fine.
Got it.
But yeah, super fun. It's a good setting. Tom's been just a huge help. He helps me organize all the playtests, and he usually contributes to a lot of the writing as well.
Absolutely fair. Yeah, no, I try not to get too far into what he does in his general day to day, mainly because I don't want to get spoiled, honestly, just for my own run. But he does seem to have a little bit of a pulse on things, which I'm glad he does, because it's
Tom's
having it
amazing.
sunk up. Yeah.
Tom is amazing. He's one of our best.
Yeah, he did. So there's a lot of things we do for the Living campaign for convention setup, right? So we've got these calendars, we've got pre-gens, we've got a lot of supporting documents, and Tom's helped out with creating a lot of that material. getting it formatted, getting it ready for players. For the first time, we've got character sheets that are front and back as opposed to being like 4 or 5 sheets where we shrink it and then you have to get, well, an old man like myself can't really read the font. So now it's like readable. And Tom did that. But it's endemic within the group. Like we all pull together and we create what's needed for players. Like Lewis, who's another demo agent, he created all the Build-A-Runner material just because he wanted to, and it's just fantastic help. It makes things so much smoother for players.
The what y'all do in your leisure time question is starting to sound. It's starting to explain itself more and more, and I do love that. All right, what are you most looking forward to?
All right, they talked about all the fun and
That's why I leave you for last, but you really have to think.
Yeah, no, they got fun and cool stuff right there. But I don't need to think about the answer. I need to, but it's just going to be a very different answer. So now we're approaching 4 months with myself in the new position right there. We've had a lot of fun and exciting things in progress. We've been working on big events. We've been working on organized play. I've been working on the grand unified theory of Catalyst organized play and what that's going to look at on a bunch of different levels. I've had the great opportunity to work with the Shadowrun and Battletech and Leviathans developers to begin working on things. I get to work with the demo team to create and make some fun things. We're starting to roll that out now. During the transition, we were trying to figure out what can we do this year? What do we want to do next year? We a lot with the anniversary and everything else went through. We've been talking for months about some fun stuff to put in the Shadowrun room, some of which came in. So I'm really excited, and we're going to have some fun. We're doing a lot of great things with Battletech. We got the pods back to GenCon after years. This is a really exciting sensation. And we're balancing the Kickstarter and all of the other good stuff. And we've got some nice things on the floor. The booth is looking great. This is the big thing I'm so excited for is this is going to be my time to be able to sit with a lot of our agents and talk to and let them know, hey, this is what we're planning on doing. This is how we want you to get involved. Once again, please let us know. So many of us started from, we were a fan who loved to play and then had the opportunity to do a little bit more. And that's how the gaming industry works. It's a wonderful way to get through and a wonderful way to do what you love. I'm excited to share that with some of our team members and our guests when they are here playing our games. That's what I'm all prepped for.
No, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I can say that I am most happy about the fact that QML is going to understand my lateness to their responses for the next couple of days. That is what I'm most excited for right now, because keeping the campaigns rolling.
Yep, and you guys are doing a wonderful job. We appreciate it. The stuff is moving. There's only so much you can do to push it out the door, but it is good. We're every moment on Facebook, I'm looking and somebody else has gotten their backing right there. So it's clearly coming out. We all want it to be in our hands immediately. We look forward to that, but the time is coming. We are rolling down the road.
No, I'm always so excited to just see rows of messages that come in that are just like, I just got all my stuff. This is perfect. Thank you so much. And then because whenever I first open up all the messages and I see like, oh, in the last 2 days I've gotten 400. All right, cool. And then I just see pages of like, oh, thank you so much. I was able to get everything that I was looking for, and it was perfect. Of course, like problems are gonna pop up here and there with shipping, but
Of course.
that's always going to happen.
The loving part of any Kickstarter right there is when you see your messages start to shrink down right there. It never completely goes away. 5 years from now, hey, I didn't get this one alternate left arm right there. Can we look into that? That's fair. We can definitely do that for you, but it's compared to the end. You remember during the heights of things, 400 messages a day, 600 messages a day. We have got the 20th biggest Kickstarter of all time, and we have got a rabidly passionate fan base for Battletech, and it's very, very similar for Shadowrun right there. They got to rest a little bit during this time. That is good, but no, we were excited. We were excited for it.
No, absolutely. I make sure to keep a nice little folder of all the nicest emails that I've gotten, just to make sure, so I can go back to it after,
The rest of the day.
Do you get
I need to hold
do you
this.
have a folder of the worst of the emails as well?
No, that's usually
Or is
just
that the
for
trash
I deal with that as quickly as possible, then I try to forget about it.
Yeah.
Just so I can get back to the rest of my day. Or I shoot it over to Rem just to let her see.
Make her deal with it.
Yeah, okay, occasionally. Just the more aggressive ones. But do we have any? I know that you had already spoken a little bit on this, but any guests in particular that you are really looking forward to this year, whether that be players or people showing up? Is there anyone that you're really after seeing?
I don't know. That's a good question. Aaron, why don't you want to field this one while I think about it?
Okay. I think it's always good to see Echo. She does
So correct, yes.
she does amazing art. I had a chance to work with her actually on the Dragon Scroll project. I did a
Do we have that set up? I remember the last couple of meetings.
They have
Would
some.
we have that set up? Like a few spells?
We do, I don't know about the spells. I thought are
They're supposed to be
active.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should. I don't want to commit to that, but they should be at least at the time of this broadcast.
Oh yeah, no. It's
But,
fine. That'll be a couple weeks after.
Oh yeah, no, I believe so. But I
Yes.
do know we've got a certain number of the scrolls here for sale, which is very, very exciting. I got to see one of them.
What
They're
is it?
gorgeous.
Was it 100 to 200?
Think it's 200.
200.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that we also have the sweatshirts, and we have
Limited
are
those.
they
The
sweatshirts?
sweatshirts for the pink and the black sweatshirts.
Yes. Yeah, and we got 200 each of those.
Yes. And when they're sold out, they're sold out.
Mhm.
I'm not sure about the Dragon Skull if they'll keep printing those, but yeah, 7-foot silk, absolutely gorgeous. I got the chance to work on all the spells and the rituals and the lore. I'm excited to have that slowly come out because we want to sort of dole this out over a time period. Maybe even release with books as well. So I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah, no. As soon as someone gets enthralled in a book and being able to, I can get this whole art piece that directly ties into this story.
But I'm looking forward to running into Echo, and she's always super fun to talk to and see what she's working on.
I have heard so much about Echo, but I have never met her.
Oh, you need to.
Yeah, no, it's an experience you have to have.
She's amazing. She'll go check her out a booth or come by Legends of the Shadows. She's playing in Legends this year.
Is she playing? Is that going to be first night or
That's Saturday night.
Okay, I'm coming by Saturday regardless.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
But
I think.
Echo's one of our legends, and she always makes the event fun.
Absolutely fair. Well, you had a second thing.
So I'm actually going to go the opposite way. There was a group I had last year for missions, BattleTech missions, not Shadowrun missions. And they came by, and we do 6 games over the course of the whole con. And it sort of tells a bit of a story from the start to the beginning, start to the end. And there was a group of guys who had been coming to GenCon for 20, 30 years or something like that. And they'd been playing this event we have called the Grinder, which is really pretty much just a free-for-all. Everybody has a good time. You get shot out of your ride. You come back in a bigger one. You exact revenge. This one is a lot more story-driven. These guys came by last year, and they played, and they were like, this is the best thing. And, the 6 of them it's a cooperative game, but they're trying to one-up each other, and they're just having a great old time. And these guys came back, they played 2 or 3 times. They're like, all right, next year, this is like, because they were one of those groups. There are thousands of them at Gen Con. They only see each other, like they probably knew each other in college or whatever. This is where they gather every year to play with their buddies that they see once a year. They've been friends for 20 or 30 years, right? And those guys they're coming. One of them let me know on Discord, oh, we're going to be there. And they were just having such a good old time last year that they were like, oh, I have to do this again this year. So I'm actually kind of looking forward. And, I love to see all the Catalyst folk every year. But I've already seen most of them since last night. So now I'm actually, it's really just this. I mean, there's lots of fans that I love to see every year, but this one group was so excited, and it so reminds me of me and my gaming group that sometimes only gets to meet here.
Mhm.
So no, that's going to be my answer. I think I'm very excited to see that one group, not exclusively, but in particular. So
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure you probably had some other, recent first comers the past couple of years.
yeah, oh, many, but there was something about just the glee that this particular group had in one-upping each other during this game that was that tickled my fancy. So
No, absolutely. Plus, that really does affect the energy of the entire room.
it does,
Mhm.
it does, yes.
All right. You had already said, but you can reiterate if you'd like.
Oh yeah, it's just in general. Like I'm looking forward to seeing Tom again. He's one of our legends this year again. Echo, same thing. Players, some of the returning players. I mean, it's the only time of year you see them, but they've been coming every year, so it's nice seeing them. Uh, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing everybody else has said. I don't have any one particular person that I'm really excited to see this year, just because I've already met them all. I don't think there's anybody new for me to meet.
Mhm.
Um, so that part of it's not there for me this
I
year.
mean, I feel
But
like it's growing all the time. I feel like you
Oh,
may
yeah.
just not know if they're coming yet.
well, true, I might be running somebody I don't know it, but that's just, I can't be excited about it if I don't know
that's
it.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
So, but yeah,
But excited for the surprise. That is,
excited for the surprise. I would love to run into somebody.
The potential.
of course.
You never leave Gen Con without saying, okay, here was this one person that I had this interaction with that
Yeah.
was just fun, that you had no idea this was going to happen in advance. I mean, it could be you meet them in the line. You're waiting to. I met John Kavalich waiting in the shipping line, like 10 years ago or something like that at Gen Con, where it was Sunday afternoon, couldn't get all the stuff that I bought, and so I'm standing there, and he's standing in front of me, and I did not recognize him, but he had his name badge on. I was like, I love your stuff, man. And I had no idea that was going to happen before, right? Gen Con is filled with interactions like that,
Yeah.
where you just you can't predict it, but it's awesome.
No. Exactly. I'm so honored that my first year I got to have a moment like that. So I would point out the name, but it is in a different sphere. She was the voice actor for one of my favorite animated series. It was a very comforting show. It's called Bee and Puppy Cat. It's such a good comfort show. But I wouldn't have ever recognized her, because I mean,
Voice actress?
exactly. But who I was with at the time, she was actually dressed up as a character. She just happened to go dressed up as one of the characters from the show. She comes up to us and goes, "You're supposed to be that character. You're supposed to be Toast." And she was like, yeah, no, I am. And she's like, I voice B. And it was.
And as soon as she said that, you're like,
we
that's
screamed.
where that voice came from.
Exactly. We were like, oh, I hear it now. You didn't give us any preparation time to start screaming yet. I'm so sorry. But I'm very happy that I got to have that my first year. I'm surprised that it did, because honestly, last year I did not have a lot of time to just walk around.
They're everywhere.
They really are.
And those are the fun situations. Once again, I'm just like Rob right there. I'm excited for everyone. It's good to see. I'm already seeing so many of my favorite authors. Michael Stackpole's here, Brian Young, a lot of other game designers who created things that you want that I love and enjoy. And once again, you never know what celebrities and notables will be here right there. I was just at Dragon Con last year, and I happened to be in the elevator with Anson Mount and Ethan Peck from Strange New Worlds. And I'm in a really cool elevator, playing it cool, so I don't start fanboying all over the room right there. They're just continuing the conversation. I'm trying to listen to every word. But no, these you get to see so many fun and interesting people, meet new interesting people, especially the ones you may not be as familiar with right there. This is the voice for this character I played in this science fiction show that I've not gotten to yet. Absolutely. I'm fascinated hearing everyone's stories. That's really exciting for us all.
No, absolutely. I think Rem actually had a moment. I do forget his name, but the creator of The Boys.
Oh,
Oh my God,
Isn't he supposed to be
Kirkman?
too?
Is that it? No.
no. Garth Ennis.
What?
Is it Garth Ennis? Did he
Yeah,
do the
Garth
boys?
Ennis.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I know that Rem ended up in an Uber or a taxi with him. And also has seen him here, which is already amazing. I know that I'm probably not going to be walking the floor too much today, but these next couple of days, I can't wait to see who I come across. Oh, and let me see. Okay, so we got about 15 minutes left. So what I want to do is reverse order, starting over here. Just give me anything that you are just really looking forward, like, to. Well, we've talked about the pods. We've talked about. Sorry, and they can cut this portion out. Is there anything that you are like really looking to kind of put a button on the interview that you want to share with the audience?
That's a great question. I really when you were how you originally phrased the question, really it hits me right there. What are you really looking forward to, and what is exciting? And I always think back to the Martin Sheen, Aaron Sorkin West Wing quote: "Tomorrow, I'm excited for what comes tomorrow." We've been building some great things. When you are in the gaming industry like that, you have to have those two different sorts of visions. There's the super new product you worked on 8 months ago that is just dropping right now and you're talking about and you're excited about, or the event that you planned out a year in advance and that we're about to put out in front of you. But then you're still really excited about this new product that you can't tell anybody about yet, that's going to come out a year and a half in advance. We talk about this a lot on a lot of the writer articles or writer interviews. We do summits every couple of years right there, where you sit down with the other artists and the other designers and we say, this is what we planned out. This is what happened last time, and from here to there, things have changed. Now we're ready to go a little bit further. That's so great, and the conventions are very good for us to sit down and chat and discuss about this. But it's that lovely thing of what comes out tomorrow, what comes out the tomorrow after tomorrow. You need to look forward, and then sometimes you get that brief moment when you can look back and go, look at what we've done. Look at this greatness. Battletech, 40th anniversary. Shadowrun, 35th anniversary. Generational institutions. And every person who is part of the demo team, who's part of the Catalyst Game Labs, they have been a part of this for a significant amount of time. They've put blood, sweat, tears, more than a little stress, and everything you could ask for into these passion products. And whether you were with the team at the beginning, whether you were during the formative years, now, or have moved on to even more fun adventures right there, it is a wonderful thing and something you always hold close to your heart. So I'm excited to be part of this. I'm excited to work with these great people, and I look forward to tomorrow and all those we get to meet.
No, absolutely. And speaking about things that are coming up, is another part of this. Since this recording isn't going to be coming out for the next couple of weeks, if there's anything that we know that is coming out during that time, that is there anything? Because I looked at
Some things.
some things.
Depending on when it comes out, that makes it a little tougher right there. But we are seeing
Absolutely fair.
a bunch of things. I know one of the things we want to focus on is we will have some new and cool items at the booth for Shadowrun, Battletech. We'll be able to show them off. We were being very, very careful, as has been said many times, to make sure that we're not tripping over the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter has taken a lot of bandwidth, but also our Kickstarter stuff, we want to save that for the backers to get first. Hence why we're not bringing a lot of those items, many of which we already have access to the con. We want to be respectful for our Kickstarter backers, beginning to end, but also for our poor designers right there who've been putting out so many other things. I believe Field Manual Davian, who I saw on the floor right there, which is something that's been out there for quite some time, but has not gotten out to the guests yet. Some other new fun faction packs, not faction packs, but some other minis packs that are very exciting. It's going to be a good time. So we're looking forward to that.
No, absolutely. I know that the backers appreciate that. I am also eternally grateful for that thought process from y'all, because that also saves me a lot of heartache. Well,
What am I looking forward to? The thing I love about the conventions and the players that come through is finding our next demo agents. So usually, if somebody's coming to play Catalyst games and they're here regularly, I do the pitch. Hey, I've seen you the last couple of years. Did you know you could come demo a bit of time, meet people that are really interesting, maybe get your foot in the door, and we've usually got a couple new demo agents each convention year, just talking to the players that are fans and getting them excited to join the team and run demos themselves, but also a chance to meet the creators, get a better channel to go talk to those folks and pitch ideas. Like, we're all fans, right? And that's probably the biggest thing I'm looking forward to with this convention pass. On the product front, like, I'm super excited. I've probably did too much this last year, but Smooth Operations is coming out at GenCon, which is the Book of Faces, because I won't say the other way. We've also got the Voodoo book that came out recently in PDF form. We've got a huge mission pack that's coming out right after GenCon that will be PDF only release as well. We recently had the wildlife book that I was able to help out on. So it's been a very busy couple months, or last year, but it's really nice to see that stuff getting out in players' hands, and I'm excited to see them look at it and use it in their game. And that's really what I love seeing, and I love pitching that and telling people to head over and take a look at the booth, touch it, feel it, look at it, maybe buy it.
I mean, fair. Well, also, how many years do you think that you see someone before they end up either attempting to onboard or onboarding?
For the ones that you can always tell the game masters, they have a different character each year, because they get bored of the last character. And then if you see them with two different characters, you're like, well, you seem like a GM. Would you like to come GM in the chaos?
Yeah.
And yeah, typically it's 2 years before you can sort of do the pitch. Especially, it's a really big pitch for Gen Con, because sometimes it's hard to get a hotel room, and it's hard to get access to a lot of the things that Gen Con naturally brings with its size.
No, very true.
And then you can also start pitching them to come to Origins, which is a great time. Origins is so much more low key.
From what I've heard, but I think that's why Rim tells me to come to this one. So
You did enjoy the chaos?
yeah, to enjoy the chaos, but also, I think a couple of people at Gen Con would probably hate me if I didn't come to this.
That is fair.
I have a technical title, and I'm only calling it that because, very, very few hours get allocated towards it at this point. But, no.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to?
Well, I share a lot of the same experiences Aaron does, so I would say that as well. But to add to that, what I'm looking forward to is the week after Gen Con.
That is absolutely fair.
And not just because I get to relax, but because the week after Gen Con is when we get to take everything from this weekend and start building off of it. We get to collect all the information from the players. We get to pull together all the ideas from talking to the freelancers. And next week is when we start putting that in work.
No, absolutely. Going straight into it.
Traditionally, unfortunately, Rob, while a great and human being, has forgotten that he's actually being sent to our new Antarctic con. He will be getting onto a flight immediately after Gen Con for 6 weeks.
Penguins are the best shadow runners.
I'm so sorry. They prefer shadow waddlers.
Shadow Waddlers. We don't call it Shadow Mosey.
Oh no. Well, what are you most looking forward to?
So, from a product perspective, sadly, or not so sadly, the thing I'm most excited about coming out is Encounters Battletech, because I designed it and I was very excited about it, but it's part of the Kickstarter, so we can't have it here. But honestly, one of the things that I love about Gen Con is, throwing some dice around and blowing up some giant robots. And I'm going to have lots of opportunities to do that. And it's kind of what it's why, at some level, why we all started this, right? Was because we love playing these games. So right now, I think that's the thing I'm most excited about, is pulling out all the toys that I've been spending literally most of the last year painting to make sure they're all ready for all the players and have all that maps and the dice and the terrain and all that. Like, that's actually what I'm most excited about right now. Ask me again in a few days. It'll probably be relaxing for a week and gathering my notes. But right now, it's playing some BattleTech.
Absolutely fair. Well, in our last few minutes, is there anything in particular that y'all would like to plug? I know that there are routes in order to, come forward with missions, things like that. Anything in particular?
Well, you throw the plug out there to Shadowrun Missions online community. If you're at Gen Con or you didn't make it to Gen Con and you want to play in Shadowrun Missions, there is Shadowrun Missions online. It is a 365 a year convention essentially. So you can get online and you can play missions with the same people that run missions here.
All right.
It's shadowrunmissionsonline.com
Or SR Missions
or
Online,
SR Missions.
I believe is the.
It's fine. I'm not the editor, so I'll get them to throw those.
Just put it in the link in the description. Yeah.
Yep.
Enter link here.
Exactly. Yeah. No. If you can just like right across here, actually maybe across our faces, is what I'm thinking.
Well, so follow us on Shadowrun Missions Facebook page. If whenever we have new content coming out, we post there. Whenever we do a call for writers, like right now, we have a call for writers that will close before this goes up, which is what I'm doing next week, is reading all the submissions. We post there as well. The other is Catalyst has a Discord. If you're into Discord, you should join. Like, we're all there. We can answer questions about game rules. You can post your crazy characters and we'll take a look at them. Like, it's good fun, and just there are a bunch of different ways to get a hold of us and see what we're doing.
When do those submissions open back up? Because you said that they were
Origins.
closed.
So
Okay.
we open them up generally at Origins. We make a post in all the Discords that I'm on, as well as the Facebook page, and then we close them the Wednesday after Gen Con, and then because we have to start writing again right away. So
Absolutely fair. Also, I'm on the Discord. Please don't message me if it's about shipping. I've already gotten too many people tagging. It's like, no, there's better ways, I promise. Anything in particular to plug? No.
I have to plug our demo team, for which none of us would be here for all of this good stuff. No, the Catalyst demo team is a wonderful institution helping to keep these games running, to encourage people, whether they're at home, whether at their friendly local game store, whether they're at major conventions, to play and enjoy these games that we love so much. The scope of any organized play program is based off of what you put into it. So if you do worldwide events, if you do game stores and do grinders and events at various game stores, or if you're trying to help some of the gamers who unfortunately just may not have the infrastructure in the area to play with others right there. We want to make sure we're trying to be respectful of every level of player and how they can do that, whether that's online, whether that's fun new products to allow you to play BattleTech in some form by yourself, or anything else right there. It is the opportunity to play Shadowrun, exactly as we talked with Shadowrun Missions, Leviathans, all of these games. It all comes down to the core of, we want people playing games that they enjoy. We want to help them to be able to play games that they enjoy. And we've got an amazing, devoted, caring, wonderful team of people who give their time, their effort, their passion, their intensity to make this happen right here. You're seeing three of those fine, wonderful gentlemen right here. I know how much you put to all you do, but it's a different world. I get you. I know it all too well right there. But no, without the wonderful people who are willing to step up and do these fun events, we could not do nearly what we need to do, and we could not be as excited for what comes tomorrow.
Absolutely. And also just for anybody watching this, since I think it will time out right, go back Frostpunk, the RPG. It's amazing to play, and I have already played it twice on separate streams with Jason, and it is an amazing and easy to pick up game. And that is another thing that I'm going to get the editor to plug in there.
That is an excellent choice.
All right.